Well. That's three wells. And I can count, just like how I can count that there are too few Minnesota Vikings on the NFL Top 100. The disrespect is real up in this motherfather. And of course, all the rankings, stupid. Everything is stupid. Everything is cake as well. Is this ranking stupid? Always has been. There you go. So the NFL Top 100, every single year, we basically just lambaste this because the rankings are arbitrary. They're extremely biased and stupid. And what would you expect? So the NFL Top 100, it's voted on by NFL players. This year, 976 players took part in the survey. Now, if you're an NFL player, are you really going to take this thing seriously? No. It's like it's like taking a test in a pass-fail course that you've already got. You've already solidified like a B in the class. So the final on the Scantron, you're just like, hush. Did they still use Scantrons? God damn it, I'm old. Anyway, so this is almost as random and arbitrary as the Pro Bowl, and players do pick name brands. So they pick guys that used to be good. You'll see a trend that it's either guys that are stealing all the highlights or dudes who used to be really good but still have that name value up really, really high. And we'll go through a couple of those names as well as name brands. Hell, Earl Thomas made this list over Kevin Byard and Cheeseburger Eddie Jackson, which is just now, as well as Derwin James isn't on this list. So how dumb is So by average, 32 teams, 100 spots, the Vikings should average about 3 guys. So I guess you shouldn't complain about 5 dudes making the list, but 2 others that probably should have made the list, as well as some of these rankings are just exceedingly low, right? So we'll get started. So number 1, so Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Donald, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes being stagnant at 4, 0 change, is just, man, I almost think that there's no way, unless they surveyed all Raiders players, like there's no way that NFL players could be so obtuse and stupid that the reigning Super Bowl champion, reigning Super Bowl MVP, and also 2 years removed from being league MVP, as well as being paid $500 million, that they seriously believe that Patrick Mahomes is the 4th best player in the league. Right behind Russell Wilson, even though respect, Russell Wilson's amazing. Lamar Jackson, MVP last year, is a hell of a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, if a lot of these defensive players are voting, they had to chase around Lamar Jackson. I understand it, but I almost think that NFL Network producers just put that in there. They fudged the ratings. There are too many hanging chads on those votes that they just did it for drama. And because what do you think they're going to talk about all week, right? Since media is sort of excluded from training camps this year due to the COVID, like there's not really much to talk about. You don't have a lot of B-roll footage about dudes catching passes in shorts. So you have to talk about this. Yeah, as well as Michael Thomas at 5, the number 1 wide receiver. Child, please. He's not even a top 5 receiver in this league, which is just whatever. But getting to the first Viking. All right, so Dalvin Cook clocks in at 21. He is the 3rd running back on this list. He was unranked last year. He's coming off of years of multiple injuries. Really blew up in 2019 to a degree. Up at 21, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. You look at the neighborhood. Cam Jordan, Tyreek Hill. You're ahead of Zeke Elliott. Awesome. TJ Watt is up and coming, ascending, up 68 spots. Yeah. This makes sense. You like it. As well as, like we said, being the number 3 running back. McCaffrey's at 6. I get it. Derrick Henry's at 10. Now, Derrick Henry could be a spot where it's a lot of Patriots and Ravens on this voting list, and they had to try to tackle him in the playoffs. So that makes sense, right? So, I mean, overall, you can't really complain too much. I think 21 is a nice spot for Dalvin. If he blows up again this year, could easily see him vaulted in the top 10, being up there and potentially even lapping McCaffrey. But also note, he's ahead of Zeke. Man, I love it. I'm in. So next up for the Vikings, Danielle Hunter clocks in at number 17. Number 14, up 17 spots from last year. Was ranked 57 last season in the NFL Top 100, so he's making some headway. But also, he's behind Joey Bosa. He's behind Shaq Barrett, who no one heard of before last season. He's behind Von Miller, who's a legacy pick. He's behind TJ Watt, Cam Jordan, Nick Bosa, as well as Chandler Jones. So I get it to some degree. And 40 is a lot higher than what the general public or even especially like the national media jabronis would have ranked Danielle Hunter. So game respects game. But also, this just seems low for Danielle, doesn't it? It just does. Next up, halfway through. So Kirk Cousins clocking in at 58. Oh, sorry. Stephon Diggs at 54. That one hurts. All right, so 58. Kirk Cousins up 20 spots from last year. Number 78 last season. He's QB 10. Now, QB 10, sure, it's great. But also, if we can go up on this list, he's behind Dak Prescott, who's at 46. Okay, as well as Jimmy Garoppolo at 43. Really? Like, I understand that his team went to the Super Bowl. It wasn't Jimmy G leading him to the Super Bowl, that's for sure. So all of a sudden, him from going from not rated to 43. No. As well as Alvin Kamara still at 42, even though he was 14 last year. Nah. Get out of here. But Cousins, Cousins at 58. It's you get it, you understand it. I think that if he has another big season this year, he could vault even higher. Like we said, 2019, even though black and white stats, it wasn't his best season in terms of like yards and touchdowns, but he was great in every single other metric that actually matters, and I think that he's being properly ranked here. Now, I think there are some quarterbacks that are being way overvalued above him. I think Cousins could easily be quarterback 8. I do like Cousins ahead of Garoppolo and Dak Prescott, and on a given day, he could find himself in the top 5 if he gets really hot. But yeah, I think overall this is relatively fair. Next up, something is not fair. So Harrison Smith, 64. And they tried to make it like they're doing him a big favor because he was 83 last year, so he's up 19 spots. No, you have the best all-around safety in the league, a guy who's never gotten the recognition from the national media jabronis, from other fans, or now, as we see here, from his fellow players. Like, I don't know, is this envy? Is this something like that? Because I don't get it. He's the 4th safety on this list, behind Jamal Adams. Understand, respect. Minka. I like Minka. I would take Harrison over Minka, as well as Honey Badger, who I don't really consider a safety. I actually consider him more of a utility defensive back, almost more of a slot corner, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, Harrison at 64. Nah. And lastly, probably the biggest snub of them all. So Eric Kendrick's 83. Last year was unranked. So they think that they're doing him a big time favor. But also, look at Bobby Wagner. Look where Bobby Wagner is up at 13, and he's actually down. He's up 2 spots. So he was 15 last year. He gained traction, even though he did not have near as good a season as Eric Kendricks did. Eric Kendricks was the best off-ball linebacker in football last year. But yeah, Eric Kendricks is down there at 83. Bobby Wagner up here at 13. I mean, I'm surprised that some of these jabronis didn't even rank Kuechly. Like, it would have been the Yao Ming, like making the All-Star game 3 years after he retired. I mean, Luke Kuechly probably would have been, top 10, even though he's retired on this list, just because you don't trust people to vote on anything at all. So, like, Bobby Wagner at 13 is probably the more egregious part. It's probably more egregious than Kendricks being down at 83. Frankly, their spots should be swapped. Like, maybe Kendricks gets up into the top 10. Wagner should be maybe in the 50s, but I think, frankly, I think Kendricks at 13, Wagner at 83 would be way less controversial than this is right now, because this is just straight up disrespect. I honestly cannot believe what is going on here. Like, Kendricks should be up there with Dalvin in terms of the highest ranked Viking, also with Danielle, but like, you can make a good case. So 21, fine for Dalvin. 40, a little bit low, but not too bad for Danielle. 58, perfectly fine for Cousins. 64, low for Harrison, but not overly egregious. But 83 for the best off-ball linebacker in football last season. Just a shame. Really, it's just a shame. Yeah. And also some snubs. So, yeah, you do understand why Thielen wasn't on the list, because he was injured last year. He was ranked 33 on the 2019 Top 100, who was the highest ranked Viking last year. I get it. Anthony Harris should be on this list somewhere. Again, the best coverage safety in all of football, but he's the best kept secret, just like he's the best kept secret from the media. He still hasn't made a Pro Bowl yet, as well as national fans. They just don't get it, as well as Derwin James not being on this list. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are on this list that I have issue with, and there's a lot of guys who did not make this list that I also have issue with. But, I mean, overall, I mean, again, it's players don't really take this seriously. It's just, Cooper Kupp made this list, really? Josh Allen is on this list, really? It's just, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it, but it is what it is. Edelman made this list? Really? Oh, they did top 110? Why they do? How's Leonard Fournette on this list? Justin Simmons barely makes this list. He should be higher. Kyle Van Noy? He's not even running back. Why is the list as a running back on this thing? I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed. But that's what it is. I mean, when you manufacture content and it's really stupid and arbitrary, getting people to talk about it is the name of the game. So I guess if they did that they've succeeded. So there you go. Your thoughts and our thoughts about the Vikings being completely lambasted and disrespected in the NFL Top 100. Again, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You know what to do. Skull, production value.